Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker here, and I've got a nice little video here this morning of a hero wood carving 9-piece set. Now, I'm not sure if many of you know that I decided to kind of take up some whittling, and I ended up getting myself a little 3-piece set that had a Sloyd knife, I think is what it's called. It had a little small pen knife, and it also had a hook knife for carving spoons. And I felt that, it was, though they were a good little set, but I also wanted to kind of get a little more intricate. And as my skill has improved, I wanted to get something that was a little bit more in-depth to do a little bit more carving. And I just kind of want to go over one of my finds here that I have here. I picked this up off of Mass Drop Canada, and got a really good deal on it. Now, I've seen this out online anywhere from $419 down to $155. I actually picked this up on Mass Drop Canada for $99 Canadian, which I thought was a fantastic deal, given what you get. So now we're kind of go over this here a little bit. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention in my, I had a review of my little 3-piece whittling set, my whittle stuff, and Sloyd. I have to wondered where we got the name Sloyd from. And Sloyd, I guess, it means crafts in Swedish. So a Sloyd knife is a craft knife. Now, that's just your little bit of trivia for the day. And let's kind of go over this wonderful set here. So let's flip this open. And now I've actually carving myself out. I just grabbed an old branch and I just wanted to try to carve something out. I'm not done this yet. I do believe this is called a kuksa. It's basically, I was going to make it into kind of a long-handled ladle, but I decided to kind of shorten it up and let's just see what can happen here. And I'm going to make it into like a little water cup. And it's just something basically when I'm out at the campsite, my foot has been bothering me like crazy lately, and I don't have a lot of movement here. I've kind of gone backwards a little bit. So I've been sitting around the campfire, sitting underneath my tarp, or underneath my awning, and just kind of whittling away here, making a mess with a bunch of wood shavings. So yeah, so let's kind of go over this here real quick. Now, these are actually, it's a hero carving, a knife carving set, 9-piece. Now the handles are made of teak, and you get a kiridashi blade, LNS flat blade, a triangle, round, an LNS, I don't know what that is, pen, saw, and a file. But we'll kind of go over this. Now they are made is Japanese high carbon steel, hardened to 62 Rockwell, and the handles are made of teak. And I have to say, seems like they're very well put together, other than some of these rivets here on some of them are a little bit loose. I'm not sure if you can hear that. And it drives me insane. So the set came from Japan. It's actually made in Seki City, Japan, which is their cutlery district. So there is some really quality knives come out of that part of the world. I think overall these are them too as well. The main thing though is just a few of the handles are loose on them, and when they showed up they were sharp, but I think if you're going to be using these to cut some intricate designs, they need to be a little bit sharper. So the majority of them I actually sharpened, and let's kind of go over what you get in this set. So the first one here is just a little I'm not sure what you want to call that. I guess that's a gouge, a small gouge. Sorry, I have a little bit of a brain fart here this morning. A small gouge, and you can see where I've kind of tightened it up just a little bit too as well. And I also want to kind of give you guys an idea of the size of them. So I'm going to put this here. This is actually, I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me check that out to make sure that can be seen. There we go. That is actually the Big Daddy of EDC, your paramilitary 2. So we're going to use that as kind of a size comparison, and I'll put that beside there too, which is the Dragonfly 2. So that gives you an idea of kind of what the size of these all are. So that just shows you here the size wise. So you get the small gouge. You get a flat chisel, And believe me, this is one of the ones that were really quite sharp. This is tremendously sharp. And it's like probably about a 1.8 inch, I do believe. A little smaller than 2 inch. You get a larger, oh, you get actually a, I'm not sure what you call that here. Give me a second here. Triangle, I guess you'd call that a triangle blade here. So and it's a nice, it came fairly sharp. Now I've put X's on all the actual blades, so this is actually a small little pen knife, and it looks like they've kind of got a little bit of a chisel ground, but this is wickedly sharp. So this is a small little pen blade that comes with it. Your next one here is a large gouge, and this has been the one that I've used the most. Trying to do this, and I'll give you a little bit of a demonstration once I kind of got this put away, but this one here is a nice gouge. And of course, okay, we've got a small kiridashi knife, and a kiridashi basically is just kind of a marking knife is what it started off with, but it turned into a great little carving knife. And these are really well designed ergonomically to have some really good feel in your hand. And of course, we've got the real big kiridashi, and this is like I said, a great knife here to remove lots of material. And you can see that it's a fairly big knife too as well. It's got a nice big forgiving handle, and you know, some good cutting blade length, but it'll also go down to a very fine tip. Very fine tip, and really strong. I've used these where I've kind of really bared down a few times doing some cuts, and there's been no issue with the strength on any of the blades whatsoever. And you know, like I said, I do believe they are hardened to 62 Rockwell, so they've been holding an edge really well. Now you've got a little 3-inch saw, so just to do your kind of fine little cuts, and it looks like it's reinforced here too as well. And then on the very end, you've got another little file, and your file has got a coarse side and a fine side, just to kind of, as you can see that I've used the file a little bit, just to touch, you know, to take away some of the cut marks in a different project. But really handy system so far, and really when they built this file, it's got some real edge to it, so it does bite into the wood really well. But so far, I've been really happy with this. Now it comes in a nice molded canvas bag here that does do folds up really nice, and seems like it'll last a long time, a lifetime. You want to have all your tools nice, handy, safe, well protected, and this canvas bag looks like it will do that for you. And just to kind of give you an idea, like how these things will work, you can see where it just peels like crazy. Here, we'll put that in there. And so the small kiridashi, and you can see here, absolutely really, you know, cuts really well. I'm really happy with this choice of steel, this high carbon steel. Like I said though, I wish it had been a little bit sharper out of the box, but you know what, if you're a knife guy and you enjoy sharpening things, and I know that you do because I enjoy sharpening things, put my own little edge on them. Once I had them, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've got very little hair left on my arms, and that's from just making sure everything is nice and sharp. As you can see, she's got hair whittling sharp off the arm. So now, would I recommend this set? Especially if you're a wood carving guy, you're a beginner, I think that this is a wonderful set. I think that now this isn't my absolute forte. I am not a wood carver by trade. This is a hobby of mine. I think if you're a hobby guy, this is more than enough. I think perhaps, you know, starting off with the 3-piece set that I had to do the spoons, I think is fantastic. Now I got this because I wanted to get a little more intricate. When I do carve my spoons, I want to make sure that I can add some designs and stuff like that. And I'm absolutely positive if I can't build some beautiful things with this set, then I should just perhaps throw it away or sell it or do something. I would definitely recommend this if you're a got an interest in wood carving and whittling. And I mean, you can just take your pocket knife out of your pocket and you can go get a tree branch and you can carve a chicken stick or a slingshot or something like that and pass the time. You definitely don't need this set to whittle and have some fun, but I want to get a little more intricate, and I've found that this has helped me out. And now I've also found that having a set like this is challenging me to look online to find out how to use it the best, how to sharpen it. Now, I had no idea how to sharpen, some of these things, and this one especially. I had no idea, and I really wasn't satisfied with when it came out of the box. I was really felt that I had way too much pressure when I was trying to carve with this gouge, and so therefore I kind of looked online. I watched how these guys sharpen these gouge, and it just helped me increase my skill. So I mean, that's another thing too as well, because it will give you, over time, you'll have to sharpen many different things, and for the most part though, once you've got them really, really sharpened up, all you need to do is drop them after that. And that's all I do. I'm not sure if you can see here, but once I've used this knife, every time I use a particular knife, I take it and I give it a couple of strops before I put it away. I'm not just, I know there's lots of people out there who they'll be using their knife and then they'll have to maybe strop it 3 or 4 times in a whittling session. And I do that too as well, but before I put it away, I make sure it gets stropped. Even if I've taken 3 cuts with it, I'll still give it a little bit of a strop just to keep it absolutely razor sharp. And that's just a little bit of a heads up from me. Now, because this is high carbon steel, I live in an extremely dry environment, so I'm not too worried about it, but you might want to oil these blades a little bit because they will rust and they will develop a patina because they have the high carbon in them. They're not a stainless steel. And the teak wood here, eventually here, I'm going to probably see if I can tap these rivets a little bit tighter, and I'm going to see if I can get some epoxy in there to tighten these up. But eventually what you'll want to do here too as well is I will want to maybe get some linseed oil and just treat these handles, because they are a teak handle. They will last a long time, but I want to keep this knife set tip top for years to come. So would I recommend this? I think absolutely. For the $400, no. But if you can find this for $150 to $99, which is the smoking deal that I got, I would definitely put this in your whittling kit. Now, the 2 of them together is all I'm going to need for many years. I think I will probably, just because I want to just hand whittle in front of the campfire or in my office for a little bit. That's what I'm looking to get out of it. As my skills improve and I do get a shop or something later on, I may want to go with something a little bit more in-depth, but the Hero 9-piece wood carving set, I think, is a wonderful addition to any whittler's toolbox. All right, now, if you like what you saw, please give me the thumbs up and the subscription. I am ever so close to 200, and that's because of you guys, and I appreciate it so much. So please, thanks for stopping by. Please stay safe. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.